you are not indeed lovingly caring for this child, but rather you are pampering them. Let me use it. You are making your child a brat or spoiled. If you realize that in your child there is this kind of aspect of blaming somebody for whatever happens to them, you have to take action. But taking action in a loving way, the other challenge the parents do is that they think punishment, yes, punishment is good to make somebody into the right path. Punishment is good, but too much punishment without giving a solution, it is also not necessary. If a child does wrong, punish him, encourage him to do good. And if they are encouraged to do good and they start doing it, show appreciation. There are some parents who indeed like they don't appreciate. The moment you are not appreciative, then to sometimes as the child grows, they might fail to understand like what does this parent really want. Whenever you are quick to find mistake, for what is good, appreciate. For what is wrong, strongly rebuke it and provide a solution, an alternative for them to do what is necessary. Then we have when you realize that this child they are having some kind of self-centeredism, and this for these parents promote it. Take an example: a child, you have some children at home, and then you have neighbors around. Maybe you are more privileged than the neighbors around, and then the child is like, "Mommy, I want something," because for the neighbor, because maybe the child of the neighbor has it. That is not a right reason to provide anything. To provide your child anything for such a reason. You must teach them to be, what can I say, independent. Independent, not independent in the case that they must, but they must be standing on a sincere reason as to why they do something. Because if they have a mindset that because somebody has something, I too must have it, as they grow, they realize that they will start to think that whatever is good belongs to them, and they won't be minding about other people's wants and other people's needs. Teach them to make decisions that are not selfish, but rather are good for all. If you are having many children at home, maybe you have a maid at home, and the child didn't, and you are buying something for people at home. Show this child that materialistic things are not that important as love, because you can provide whatever your child wants. This child will grow with greed. And now when he grows with greed, these are the people you see that for whatever is good, they think it has to belong to them. But in the case, the point I want to strongly stand on, or I want to strongly emphasize, that parents take heed of teaching your child, or of encouraging your child not to blame anybody for anything wrong that happens to them. If a child fails an exam or brings a bad report at home, and it's like the teacher didn't teach us, maybe I had a friend, he made me fail. Show the child right away, or right from the start, that is the wrong kind of perspective. Because if others made it, why do you have to bulge up excuses for everything wrong that you get to, for every unsuccessful point of life that you meet? Why do you have to blame others? These are the people, when they grow up, that you find that they are jealousy for anything good that happens to the neighbor. You get the point? So, as you train your child as they grow up, as in a way that you think you are lovingly caring for them, make it a point to enable them understand that they should have limited excuse for whatever mistake they do. And especially if you give them a task, ensure that they complete it. Because if they don't complete it and you are like, it's okay, maybe don't stress a lot, especially the fathers. No, that is something small, that maybe the child is still young. Ensure that when you provide a task, at least let them provide a reason as to why they were not able to complete it. But rather, if there is no reason as to why they were not able to complete it, and you are just okay with it, it will indeed become a habit. And this child that's when you will see that when one day a day comes up and you tell them to do something, they won't yield to your will, because they know you are going to do nothing. And then you will be creating a burdensome kind of creature or human being to the other community. But the solution is here, that the parent takes the first step. Remember, if now to the other side, now you can distinguish how you, either whether you are loving your child, caring, loving your child, or you are instead pampering them, making life too easy, like too easy for them. Life, yes, must be easy. Maybe you passed through a lot of struggle, but let this child have the clear perspective of the real world. Don't make everything so simple that whatever they should have, they should get it. But teach them to be patient. Like if they want something, they desire something, they should desire something which is a necessity. And for that which is not a necessity, they should bear and build in them patience. Now, to this youth who has realized that maybe my parent was negligent at some point of his responsibility, and now I'm a brat, I'm spoiled, what should they do? The parent, you can also have an initiative in this, that if you realize that the child is no longer, what can I say, can I call it, hates you, like it is becoming a problem to you in a way of correcting him, find other means. Find people that he is free with, and there are these people that are going to make it easy for him to come back to you. And every parent, make it an aim that you don't make you correctly, you lovingly rebuke your children so that they don't hate you, because when they hate you, they will make it a point to rebel against everything that you tell them. And when they rebel against everything that you tell them, they reach a time when they are unruly. And if you realize this, take these steps, and if it's and take them right away, because the more they grow, the more they mature, the more it becomes difficult. Deprive them of some things and teach them to bear. Like for example, if you have trained your child to have everything they want at that time they need it, and realize that it reaches a time that whatever they want it right away. Story by story, teach them to deprive them of some of these things. Learn to say no to some needs that are not a necessity, and learn to how to teach always congregate as a family, to learn maybe Bible, learn spiritual topics, discuss developmental things, developmental topics, so that this child is taught right away from childhood to have a mind that is caring and that is not self-centered, but rather deserves forever. To the youth, engage in social communications, engage in social gatherings that are that are with good peers, to promote morality. Because when you aim to promote morality, there are some things that are going to change in your lifestyle, and when they change in your lifestyle, you start to pay heed and starting to come back to the right path. And also avoid bad peers, because you can also know that this is a bad peer, however much as you may be enjoying to stay with them. Lastly, as now I'm trying to summarize up because of time. I don't want to make so much a length part of this, but to the youth also, learn to read the scriptures. If you're a Muslim, at least read the Quran. It's also unfortunate that Our friends, the Muslims, to a large extent, many of them don't read the Quran. And to the Christians also, many of them don't read the Bible. So the Bible, the Quran, spiritual books have a lot of knowledge, a lot of experience that God has designed and inspired those authors, those writers, especially now for the Bible, because I know much about it. There is much lesson that the Lord has for any youth that has strayed away from the right path. And beside that, however much as your parent might be stressing, might be maybe